Hey everybody, welcome to a great podcast again. We've got Larry with us today. Nice Friday afternoon, sunny afternoon. Larry, how are you?
Doing well, Grant. Yourself? Thanks for having me on.
Excellent.
I know you guys we're all going through some tough times right now, but we'll get through it, huh?
Yeah,
And,
telling me.
we can get everybody rocking and rolling for the summer and achieving all their goals and all their wishes and things like that, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about the summer. I'm excited to get people
Yeah.
in the gym. And hey Larry, so we're chatting today about fat loss for women.
Mhm.
I gotta say, we hear it a lot from ladies in the gym working hard, doing what they gotta do. They talk about, fat loss for me, fat loss for my body type. We hear that all the time. So we hear, you know, I'm an apple, I'm a pear, I'm a banana. What are we talking about when people talk about this body type or these?
Yeah, so it's interesting, you get all these diets and things like that, Grant, that people follow. It's such a huge billion-dollar industry, as we know, right? And
Yeah,
fat loss is such a big thing
right.
with women in particular. I've found over the 25 years I've been training, and over those 25 years, we've kind of created a system called My Blueprint Nutrition, which I'll go into a little bit, but more importantly, when you talk about different body types, how to determine them, we've kind of narrowed them down to 4 different body types, right? An apple, like you discussed, a pear, a banana, and what I call a skinny fat person, which we'll get into. But the My Blueprint Nutrition, how we started is we take calipers and we do 10 to 12 sites, depending on if it's a male or female. With females, we do it. Quick rundown. Basically, we're trying to see where they're storing body fat with the calipers. And getting an overall number, which is crucial, right? Let's say it's 15 or 20%, whatever the person is or whatever they are. And then we design a program nutritionally for them with supplementations and food plus the workouts, because they're different workouts for different body types. So that's how we created this system. And then I'm a big believer nutrition has to be easy, Grant. I don't want to go, Grant, hey, Grant, you got to eat, you're an apple and you got to eat like 6 carrots and 2 ounces of meat and then 3 pieces of rice and this and that, because people can't do that. So I'm kind of into the 80-20 rule and the matrix of nutrition to understand, because people still want to have lives, right? And kind of go out, have some fun, things like that. It's different for an athlete that has 12 weeks or preparation or wants to, go to combine or NFL. It's a little different for performance, but for the people like you and I and the women that you're probably going to deal with, the women I'm probably going to deal with, they want to still have a glass of wine on the weekend, go out for dinner, things like that. So we use the matrix and kind of get them following the plan of one of those 4 body types: the apple, the pear, the banana, or the skinny fat person.
Right. So so just on the caliper. So what you're saying is that to really get an idea of this, it's not about just jumping on a scale. It's about getting really close to
No.
her body size.
Yeah.
Body.
Yeah.
I think you said 11 locations across the body.
10 or 12. But we do it, in-house. That's one thing, we got to do it in-house, or I have to get someone that I know that I trust to do the body fat calipers, and they got to be the right calipers, those kind of things.
Right.
One thing we always talk about is people go, well, it's not as accurate as a underwater testing and all that, but not many people have access to those things.
Yeah.
So if I'm the guy that's going to test Grant, then I continually test Grant. That keeps it consistent. That's a big thing. And the next thing is I always tell them, look in the mirror and look at their clothes. Those are the biggest types of things you're going to find out pretty easily, right? So,
Yeah.
and there's so many other factors that people have to consider when doing nutrition, but we're just trying to make it easy. And, what happened was, we can use calipers, but not everybody gets to come see me or see whoever to do calipers. So I'm just like, hey, tell me your body type. Let me see your body type, shirt off, whatever, sports bra. And you can kind of tell what kind of body types there are, and you can kind of guide them towards the proper nutrition, supplementation, and training protocols.
Gotcha. So my takeaway there is basically, if you're listening to somebody that's giving you nutritional benefit, unless they're talking this type of language, body type specific, you're probably not with the right person.
Yeah, and there's lots of ways to skin the cat, right? There's lots of ways to do nutrition. Obviously, if you don't, calorie in, calorie out, that's going to work at some point. But most people go to the gym, and train real hard, and they wonder why they don't lose weight. Well, 80% of your goals are through nutrition, right? It's just, unfortunately, just how it is. So it's such a big factor, and people don't realize nutrition is a drug. when you clean their diet, when I say, well, cleaning their diet, and then let's just say we give them a pizza, the next day they feel hungover, they're achy, and that tells them something, right? So,
Right.
you kind of use elimination things too to kind of get rid of some stuff in their diet, and you make it easy. You got to make it easier, and people aren't going to succeed and they'll fail, and you got to make a lifestyle change, right? It's not a diet,
Yeah, I was gonna
right?
say, it's got to fit into somebody's life. I mean, otherwise, it's just a diet. Now,
You
you
don't want
mentioned
that.
you used the term there, skinny fat. Skinny fat, two terms you wouldn't expect to hear in a sentence. What's that all about?
Yeah, so that's one body type. So skinny fat guy came along more so we dealt with teenagers. So they look skinny. We take their body fat, their actually body fat's high. Couple reasons why. They don't really have much muscle. And two, they don't eat enough. And three, they don't eat enough protein. So that's what happens. So with those kind of kids, teenagers, what we do is we always start them off. First week, let's just get them to eat 5 to 7 meals per day. Let's get them eating more. Okay.
5 to 7 meals.
Yeah, but if they get to 7, that's great. But my goal is 5. The second part of that week is they must eat protein every meal. So keep it simple. Okay, so that's what we do with skinny fat guys. And I tell people this is a real easy rule of thumb. Every meal, if your palm's this big, have that much in protein. Okay. Secondly, have this much in carbs. So your salads and veggies, things like that. Maybe a sweet potato here, and some salad here. And then this much fat at each meal. So just that much might be an avocado or something like that. So we try to keep it simple, something they can relate to easily on their plate, right? So, instead of going like, hey, Grant, you're a skinny fat guy, you got to eat, this many calories, blah, blah. I don't want to do that. I want them just to eat, get them to eat more that first 2 weeks. And then we add different stages to it, like things like take out your white products. So your breads, your potatoes, your cereals, but maybe that's the second or third week, right? We just got to get them to eat more and eat more protein. So that's what we do with skinny fat guys or people. Sorry, usually call it skinny fat guys because you deal with more male teenagers in that sense.
Oh, so you would typically use the skinny fat scenario specifically with female athletes?
No. Models are like that too. They look skinny, but when you take their body fat, they're usually high, right? They just don't eat enough. So it's just one of those things where we look at them. It's very similar to the banana type, in one way. Banana type's more about calorie intake and calorie expenditure. So, eat less, burn more calories helps a banana out, right? Okay. So that's kind of things we do with bananas.
Does this sort of analysis persist through time? Like, I mean, if a kid is, coming to you for the first time and they are of a certain body type, will they stay that way? I mean, 16-year-old kid turns around one day, they're 28 and they're at a job and they fall out of that. Do they go back to that same body type? Or?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, genetically, your genes haven't changed since caveman. It's like 0.0001%. So, or use the apple body type, for example. Apple body type is probably 70% of the people. They store body fat in the upper body region. Most males, you notice, and most females, a lot of them are like that too. That's an insulin sensitivity. They really got to control their carbs. Okay, so it does take time to change that, basically the genetic makeup. Now you can also revert back to it, starting eating lots of carbs and things like that. But the better you get, the more carb sensitive you become, the better you can absorb carbs, which is good, but it has to take time. It takes time. Yeah. So that's the one you really can't cheat on for a bit. Most women will come in and we take love handles, okay, on the caliper test. The love handle is an indicator of insulin. So for us, it tells us if you cheat on your diet or not. 100% accurate, right? We've done like 10,000. I've done probably 25,000 body fats, and the women will come in after 2 weeks. I'll take their body fat and I'll measure it, and the love handles are the same or higher. And they said, I didn't cheat. And I said, yes, you did. They said, I didn't cheat. I said, yes, you did. They start crying, and then we move on. And now they've realized what they got to do, and you see the differences. So it doesn't lie. That one site does not lie for us. So.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a science all in of its own. Well, if I could ask you this, so what are you finding now be topical just in terms of today? I mean, what's the biggest problem people have had through this lockdown? Like, have they just overeaten? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of everything, right? I think, you see it in Canada. I think US is a little out of it more where, they've been able to go train or go in the gyms and things like that. Like, think about it. If you just sit around for months, even not doing much, you're going to gain some weight, right? Unfortunately.
Right.
And mood has such a big thing to play with that, with eating, because a lot of people eat when they become depressed or things like that, or anxiety, so they're eating extra calories.
The so-called comfort eating.
Yeah, and if you're home all day, Grant, it's really easy for you to go in here and do that. You don't realize you're maybe not, doing as much activity like walking and going outside or doing something, right? Physical activity. And I think that's an important thing. So it's unfortunate. It's something you got to just overcome and kind of, do. There's lots of, like I said, there's lots of ways to skin the cat, and I think people just hopefully, especially in Canada, we use Canada as an example versus the US right now because the US has opened up a lot, but they just need to trust the system a little bit and believe in it for a bit more. Right. And then once things are able to do something but you still can pick up a skipping rope, you still can go for a walk, you still can sprint, you still can run hills, you still can go up things. Like, it's all about what you want to do, right? Thinking outside the box for exercise.
Yeah, because the problem is we've gone from something to zero. Yeah.
Right. But this is a great time for you to do nutrition.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, too, alcohol dependency and drug use is higher right now too, because it's unfortunate. Alcohol for women, it's actually much more difficult because women do not metabolize alcohol as well as men. So there's a rule of thumb: have one glass of wine a day, but 2 glasses a day. You know what I mean? You can't count it, and you can't add them all up and say I didn't have any Monday through Friday. Have 6 on.
Yeah, and load it up. Yeah.
So because every calorie after you start drinking, you start eating, actually metabolizes to fat. So it's a problem, right? And people don't realize. I'm not saying you can't drink or have alcohol, a glass of wine here and there, but if you want to be dedicated to get to a goal, there's some things you have to. Right. Unfortunately.
Lifestyle again, right? I mean, can you commit to that level if the fat loss or if a certain level of body condition is your goal?
Yeah. So it all depends what you want, right? I always tell everybody, tell an athlete, yourself, whatever. I'll give you the tools, I'll give you the nutrition, I'll help you out, I'll make you accountable. But ultimately, you got to want to do it. And the one thing I found the difference between men and women, and this is just maybe it's a general term, but women will really strive to get fat loss, will try to stay healthy, all that kind of stuff. Men resist it usually until a health scare happens. And then they really revert into being healthy. And that's not everybody, but that's what usually triggers them to start eating better or et cetera, et cetera. I think,
we're a little dumber than our kind of.
Yeah, we're stubborn, right? Men are stubborn with doctors, all that kind of stuff. That's normal. But the one thing, if I could tell you one thing that people don't eat enough of is fats, good fats on both males and females. I think I'm a big believer eating fats make you leaner. I know it sounds contradicting, but it's not. Fats fuel the brain. Okay, so big believer in that because fat's the only thing that goes through the membranes of the brain, right?
Gotcha. Interesting. Hey, before I let you go, so this body type thing, is there any other way other than visually to assess the body type that you're dealing with?
Yeah, the best is the calipers. Like, best is get some professional, doesn't matter where you go, someone that's done it. And like people go, I'm going to a nutritionist, blah, blah, blah. Well, I just look for people that get you results. Right? Like, Grant Skinner is really good at getting me results, and that's what, he doesn't have all these initials behind his name or whatever. Does it matter to me? Not really. Yeah. Right. So I think that's an important thing. So just look for guys or people, that are results oriented. I think that's important. But for us, the easiest way for me to do it is I take calipers. It takes me like 2 minutes to do. I get a number right away. With My Blueprint Nutrition now too, we kind of have a questionnaire. So the questionnaire is sent to Grant. It spits out, kind of what the 2 or 3 main issues are. And then I take body fat calipers and usually correlates, and then it spits you out a program and a nutritional program and supplement protocols and your workouts, because different workouts are for different body types too.
Gotcha.
So.
All right, sir. Well, thank you for the time. I don't want to take up too much of your time. We're going to get this out there, and hopefully a lot of ladies would have listened to this. It's a common thing. I mean, it's an everyday thing. Life happens. So, yeah.
Appreciate it, Grant. You know, like I said, let's keep eat healthy. This is a good time to change your habits. You know, and it takes 21 days to change habits, and it's good for people to maybe start on that ride and get healthy and get ready for bikini season and the swimsuit season and the pool season. You know.
Bikini season.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need it this year, man. That's for sure.
Yes.
All right.
We all did. Thanks, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you.